you sick of being killed by mobs in Dark and Darker? How many times have you been stacked with loot only to be killed by a skeleton archer? Well, in this guide, I'm going to show you how to avoid damage from every single main enemy in this game. If you want some live tips and tricks, come check me out on Twitch at JacksonGames_. These pesky little dudes are annoying as heck with their poison damage. The best thing to do is just walk forward, bait their attack, and hit them. Then rinse and repeat. You can also just walk to the left to avoid these overhand attacks too. Archers of any kind are tiresome in this game, but the goblin ones especially because of that poison damage. There's two types of goblin ranged attackers, the bow goblins and the ones who throw rocks. Best thing to do is just walk left or right when they're about to shoot to avoid these, then walk up, hit, rinse and repeat. These guys caught me off guard a lot when I first started playing, and it's because of that sneaky second swing on the axe that can be hard to predict when they're going to do it. In order to be safe, I just treat them like a regular sword goblins and then bait them, hit, and move away. Goblin mages are the same as the goblin archers. Hit once, avoid their attacks by moving left or right, and then hit again. Mummies and zombies are slightly faster than the other mobs in this game, however they are much simpler to fight. All of their attacks are super telegraphed and all you need to do is simply, when you see them start an attack, just walk backwards or to the side to avoid these. The flying critters in Dark and Darker can jump off a cliff in my opinion. They are so annoying and seemingly come out of nowhere. However, they have similar attack patterns. So for the bats, avoid their initial sonic boom attack. This is always the first attack they will do. All you need to do is go left as soon as they start to move their head. Then hit them once, walk to the left to avoid their attack, do it again. Death skulls are similar as you hit them, wait for their eyes to go yellow, move to the left, hit them again, and they'll be dead. They only take 2 shots. Lastly, the death beetles might be my least favorite of all the flying monsters. Their little stinger will slow you down and it's got a little bit of range on the attack as well. So just like the other flying creatures, you hit, move to the left or right to avoid their attack and then hit them again. The biggest tip with these flying enemies is patience. The spiders can be difficult only because of their size and speed. I recommend jumping on their spawner and smashing it from behind to avoid them spawning on you and hitting you while you're trying to break it. Then just crouch walk and hit the spiders once or twice to get rid of them. Alternatively, stand on something and hit them from a safe distance. It's a great way to color group. There's a variety of skeletons in Dark and Darker, and the first is by far the easiest. The guys only have one attack and it's a super telegraphed overhead attack. This can be easily avoided by walking to the left or baiting the attack and then walking backwards. I cannot tell you how many times I died to these fools when I first started. You can avoid these by taking cover when they are shooting, then running out and hitting them and hiding again. You can avoid their arrows by moving left or right just as they're about to shoot, and you can also duck under the arrows using crouch. Although sometimes they shoot you anyways by doing this. Boy, oh boy, did these guys freak me out when I first started playing. I'm pretty sure they're put in the game to teach you that you can't just walk backwards to avoid attacks. For their overhead attacks, move to the left to avoid, and the dreaded thrust attack is a simple walk to the right. I found being close up is what helps the most. Just hug these skeleton spearmen. Like the spearmen, the Zwilhander skeletons have 2 attacks. A overhand attack, which is like all the other overhands and can be avoided with either baiting it and walking backwards or walking to the left of the attack, but the double swing is very hard to avoid. However, once you learn this trick, it's really simple. Just crouch as they swing and look at the floor. They'll hit nothing but air. But do remember to do this twice as the attack sometimes doubles up. The Zwilhander skeletons and the axe-wielding skeletons basically have the same attacks, so use the same tips. However, for their lunging slashing attack, I recommend walking forward and to the left to avoid this, as these skeletons are put in the game to teach you not just to walk backwards from everything. The Skelly mages were so daunting to me when I first played Darker Darker. However, now they're almost comical. Try to bait them into traps which will kill them in just a few strikes. Or get them into a corner and watch them burn themselves to death, or simply hit and run them. The choice is yours. Now that you know how to avoid damage in Dark and Darker, click on this next video to see the funniest moments from launch day of early access and I'll see you there.